We're celebrating Women's History Month this week, and we've got, that's right, that is right, I concur. We've got an audience full of mamas. Together, they have 498 kids among them. Add my Willa and Jameson, and it's an even 500. What's up, moms? That's right, it's our Mom Summit. Things might get emotional today, or not, I don't know. But just in case, we got all of the moms some Kelly Clarkson Show tissues. I can definitely go through a box of tissues. We've got a couple of badass mamas you probably know here today. Let's say hi to them now. One starred in the films Get Out and Megan. She's also got a podcast called Landlines. The other you know from Hamilton. Her album, yes. Her album, Who I Really Am, and her documentary, which made me cry, Satisfied, are both out now. Plus, you can see her in the new CBS series Cupertino later this year. Please welcome two hardworking mamas, Allison Williams and Renée Elise Goldsberry. We just played Mafia together in the last snowstorm, and she's really good at it. Welcome to our Mom Summit. Who's tired?
All of us, I think.
Never not.
Yeah, exhausted.
Never not.
Might just cry just being here. I always tell my girlfriends, like, do you guys want to get together tonight and do nothing and just cry and maybe nap?
That sounds so nice.
And eat and drink. And eat and drink.
Okay. Speaking of tired, but also speaking of absolute badassery and giving everything your all, your documentary is, I sobbed.
You watched it?
I watched it with Willow. Aww. I sobbed. Willow moved away from me on the couch, which it happens a lot. I'm being annoying, but talk about being a working mom and putting everything into everything you're doing.
It was, it's a crazy thing to have done. It's a documentary about the phenomenon of Hamilton happening in my life, but I really just use that as an opportunity to talk about the difficulty of trying to make a family when you're in any business, especially our business, and to try to figure out how to balance it. And I was, I think, not nervous about doing it until I saw it, until it became out, for everybody to see. But it makes me feel so much better when people I know who I've been watching kill it as a mother, believe.
I'm just gonna cry.
No, because if you cry, we cry, they cry. They have tissues.
If you see truth in it, I mean, it's your life.
I've been watching you hanging transparent.
I've been watching you hanging from the ceiling with your daughter.
I know.
Yeah, she learned that so quickly it was dumb. But you say that working moms often face impossible choices. I agree.
It's like a catch-22 so that we can't win. Either you're working too much that you're not spending any time with your kid, or you're not working and setting a good working example for your kid. I mean, the whole system is like set up so that we can't win. So the only answer is that everyone wins because we're all doing our best. And like, it's so hard. But it's true. When you're, it's so true. I mean, there have been so many studies done about it's not the amount of time, it's the quality of time. And I feel like that always ends up being the lesson that feels more important to me. When we have to leave our families for work, like, you realize that being there for one bedtime, if you're just fully present and in it, is so much more powerful than a whole day of being like, I can't right now, I can't right now, I can't, you know.
Yeah. You started a podcast with two of your working mama friends. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, it's called Landlines. We've been friends since, one of them I've known since I was born, the other one since kindergarten, and we're in a group of friends that grew up together. And when we hit motherhood, I formed a group chat so that I could troubleshoot things like, what is a bassinet versus crib? Is there a difference between these two items? And they could all answer. And that became this motivation for a podcast where we were like, we want everyone to feel like, whether or not they have this group of friends, because we feel so lucky to have known each other through every chapter of life, we want everyone to feel like they have the resource of this friend group. And so one of them happens to be a therapist, which is extremely helpful. And the
So
other one is a teacher, which is also extremely helpful. Yes.
Yes. The patience in your mom group.
Oh my God, but it's so helpful to be like,
Yeah.
from a psychological standpoint, am I damaging my child if?
Yeah.
And the answer is almost always no, they're resilient. And then it's like, you know.
Or you will find out later.
Someone, yeah, exactly. Oh my God, for sure. Or it's like someone bit my kid at school, what do we do here?
Bite him
And then
back.
we teach-
No. Nope. Don't bite him back. No. I didn't mean that. That's how I parent.
You would bite
I
a
just
kid?
say the thing and then I walk it. I would bite a kid for my
You would
kid.
bite a kid?
100%. I'm here with Renée Elise Goldsberry, who you can see in Cupertino. I'm saying that correctly.
Yes, you are.
Yes. On CBS soon, and Allison Williams, whose podcast is called Landlines.
Yeah.
We've also got an audience of mamas. Give yourselves a hand. This hour, we're celebrating all the badass moms who make this world happen. My next guest is certainly one. She is a clinical psychologist and best-selling author of 7 books.
Wow.
She founded the conscious parenting movement, which has transformed the way parents see their children. She has really made an impact on me personally. She saved my life different times on tour, helping me with both of my children. Please welcome one of my loves, Dr. Shefali. Hold on, I need one more. I love this woman. You guys, I don't think anyone understands. The first time I called you, Willow was 6. And I was like, I think she's sad, and I'm scared of sad, and I know sad, and I don't know how to get to her sad, and what do I do? And you said to me, she is a perfectly whole child. Why are you giving her your holes? And why does she have to fix you? Just tell her you're outside of her and you're there and you're waiting. And I literally was like, I don't know if I like you anymore.
Many times I was like, oh, I've pissed her off.
I love it.
That's
And then I call her back next week. I'm like, give me more. So please explain conscious parenting, if you can.
Oh my goodness. I think conscious parenting for me was my rebellion against the traditional parenting model that I think most of us were raised in, are still raised in, which focuses on controlling the child as our puppet, as our salvation, and where the parent gets, you know, unrestricted authority to mold the child according to their own fantasy. And because I so did not like that in my own childhood, I so sit with my clients in pain when they express the torture or the subjugation or their abduction from their authentic self in their childhood, that I just felt like I needed to do something different. And I've pissed a lot of parents off because parents don't want to look at that inside themselves. They don't want to see how they're using their child for their own ego. It's tough. And the ego never goes away. I mean, yesterday mine showed up. So, but this is why our children come to us, to awaken us into our greatest consciousness. And we get to heal because we don't want to do to them what was done to us.
Yeah. I mean, you're already familiar with Dr. Shefali from someone else.
Yeah, I have to tell you, many years ago, I played Henrietta Lacks in this film, and I played Oprah Winfrey's mother in flashback.
Wow.
So we had this really special relationship, and I showed up for a photo shoot, and I had just had a big disagreement with my mother the night before, and she said to me, I find the most valuable resource on parenting from any angle is The Conscious Parent. And then she sent me the book, signed 3 days later, and then she texted me about a week later to ask if I had read it, to make sure I had read it. And it changed my life.
Wow.
And what I'm blown away by is not just what you just said, but also, you know, when I found out that you were going to be on the show today, I read it again and realized that I was failing at everything.
I know, and it's not for parents to feel bad about themselves. It's to inspire them, to awaken them, because ultimately, it's about healing us.
Yeah.
So it's not about guilt or blame or regret. It's really about let's up-level ourselves for our children. You know?
So you made a big announcement this week, right?
Yes.
What was it? Can you tell us? Are we allowed to know?
So last year, I realized more than ever before that our culture is at a real tipping inflection point. And our children are really being sacrificed. They are living in a time where we are not supporting their neurological, spiritual, emotional needs. We are not. Their childhood is being abducted by the algorithm, and parents are helpless. We kind of know that what's happening is not good for our children, but we don't know what to do about it. We never know what to do about it. We're always hopeless, helpless, and I didn't want to just sound the alarm. I wanted to provide the invitation and the guided blueprint. So I wrote 2 books, Raising Conscious Sons and Raising Conscious Daughters. So they go on pre-sale today.
Congratulations. No one can borrow my books because I fold them down, I underline them, I highlight them, I make notes. There's poems that come from it. Yeah. You just happen to write 2 more books.
I know, you're like,
in your spare
I did
time.
what anyone would do. I wrote
It is our Mom Summit. We've also got an audience of moms. We've got moms on stage, moms behind the camera, and in the control booth. And we're all doing the best we can. I like to say I'm doing almost my best. But let's talk about it. I want to give many of you the opportunity to express what you're going through while you have such incredible listeners and witnesses. Dr. Shefali is here to give advice. Our panel can weigh in. Those are the rules. It's not a drinking game. Sound good? All right, we're gonna start with a recent video that went viral. Check this out.
So my son drew this picture of our family. I had to ask him who this was. And he said, "It's you, Mom, but you're so nervous all the time."
Aw.
It's so relatable.
That mom is here today. Natasha, will you stand up? So he drew that at school, right?
Yeah, it was a school project, and it was around Halloween time. I have 3 kids actually. They're 6.
Aww.
Yeah, they're 6, 4, and 2. So my 6-year-old made the drawing. He's in 1st grade. And so we first brought the picture home, and I thought it was hilarious. It made me laugh. I made the video. And then upon posting it, I did receive a little bit of backlash. And there were some opinions where, like, kind of, everybody in here is like, oh, and so people were kind of thinking, when your kids notice, it's an issue. And so I took a step back, and I kind of thought to myself, is it? Because I've always struggled with anxiety, and I'm at a point now where I'm open talking about it. I'm not ashamed of it, and it's not something, thank you. It's really not something that I want to hide from my kids. And so I guess my question to you would be, how do I make sure that my anxiety is impacting all of my kids in a positive way and not in a negative way?
I mean, I would say quickly, and then she'll tell you why I'm wrong. I'm just kidding. But we love that. I would say that I think anxiety is our very first emotion. And I always laugh and say I'm going to put this lyric in a song that says, my first cry was a cry for help. But I think anxiety is, I haven't done it yet. It's mine. I said it on television. I think we all look at anxiety as if it's a bad thing instead of just something that we all experience and learn to, it's like, what do you do with it? As opposed to how do you hide it or, oh no, you have anxiety. Everyone has anxiety.
Exactly.
And that's all I have to say about that. Do you all want to jump in?
I was going to say, my biggest fear is that they only see the outcome of the work I do and not see all of the failings and all the stumblings and all of the challenges. I worry that they miss some of those steps, and that's just not a fair modeling of behavior. And so, yeah, I actually love that your children saw it and actually can illustrate it as something that's separate from you. It wasn't the lines were not inside of you, but around you. As though somehow it was not the identifying feature of who mommy is. I thought that was quite healthy.
Yeah. I'm just with you. I have fully anxiety. You know, on the journey with you. So I'm also looking forward to your answer.
Well, you all have said the right things. I mean, it's absolutely spot on that you are owning it. You are allowing yourself to name it. And you said, I've always struggled with anxiety, so it's something that comes along with you, but it is not who you are. It's not identifying who you are. But our children are absorbent. They're sponges, and he's already picked up on it before words. So they sense our nervous system before they need words. It's through a sensory, felt perception that they sense who we are. Yeah. So teaching him or them how you deal with the anxiety is the key. Perfect. So naming it, talking about how you regulate yourself. It's not about getting rid of it. It's about how do you work through it. Right? And even if you have to do it on a daily basis, you're actually teaching him that you're not falling apart, so anxiety is not bigger than you. You can cope with it, and you can befriend it.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sandra in the audience is here with something we can all relate to, exhaustion.
Hi. Hi, Pink and moms. I'm a mom of an 11-year-old girl. Her name is Olivia, and Lucienne, who's 4. There's a 7-year age gap between them, so I'm tired, to say the least. My husband and I, we have different work schedules. I work Monday through Friday. He works Thursday through Monday. So we see each other as we're passing each other. I barely have time for myself. We barely have time for each other. And it's hard, just trying to find time for each other, time to find time for the kids. I see all these things on social media. These parents have these clean homes, calm, happy kids. Where are they? Not mine, not in my home. So I just want to know, how can I break the cycle of exhaustion and tired and show my kids my better self? Because I don't think I'm showing them that.
Give you a hug.
This is so common, right?
Yeah, it's so common. It's parental burnout. It's mommy burnout. You're exhausted. You're pulled at every angle. You're stretched to the seams. And your support, you need support. You need nourishment, and you don't know where to find it. And then you go on Instagram or a platform, you're not going to find any solace there. That is going to breed the comparison and the lack of perfection, because that's an illusion, right? That's the way it's set up. So you need to first not do that to yourself, and then find ways to nourish yourself. What can you take off the schedule? What expectation are you putting on yourself and your children that needs to be shed? What is anything extra that you can let go of? And that's some internal work you need to do, because there is something excessive that you can get rid of. For sure, we all have extra stuff that we can do without. So find the pockets which nourish you, which are still, empty, where you can journal, where you can connect with yourself. How are you feeding yourself, right? Because if you don't, then you're going to have nothing to give, and then you're going to yell and be dysregulated, and then you're going to be guilty, and then going to do more, and that's our cycle, right? So you have to break the cycle. It's not going to fall from the sky, the solution. It has to come from within you, looking at your life honestly and clearing out anything excessive, anything negative, anything toxic.
Can I give you like a really small piece of advice? Don't rush when you pee. I learned this from a pelvic floor physical therapist. And I share it with you not because it's just good for our pelvic floors to not rush when we pee. That's called power peeing. Thank you, Dr. Sarah Reardon. But it's like your time. There's no debating it. That belongs to you. And I found that when I was like, okay, it's bad for me physically to rush this. Let me just take some time. And I like stopped rushing it because you're just like, okay, get this over with. I need to keep going, keep doing everything. That's like a tiny practice that just put me in the habit of doing something that felt self-serving but was actually fueling me for whatever the next chapter of my day was gonna be.
And I mean, how much time do guys take to pee?
There's like full-on like tomes of literature in the bathroom. We can take 90 seconds to breathe and pee and feel our feet on the ground and just chill.
I also think as moms, we model for our kids like how to get it all done, right? We take such pride. My identity is so wrapped up in how many plates I can keep in the air. And maybe my work now is to show my kids that I also know how to drop one and that we're still safe.
Yeah.
And that I'm still okay, I'm still a whole human, and I need to model self-care for them for later when they start rushing around and being exhausted because they think that's the only choice, right? I don't know.
I was gonna say, and it's not gonna be better than the pee, but
What's more relatable than pee?
but it's more time, and that is just the discipline around a bedtime for children, because that's my joy, and I love my kids, but I love them the most when they are asleep. Okay, so just I mean, my happy time is when they're, because I feel like a good parent. Check.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're asleep, and anything that happens in the house at that point, I am not responsible for. Like, I feel like just the discipline around that one piece of structure gives you and your partner some time together that you might not have in the bathroom. Yeah. No judgment, but just in case. Yeah,
Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you.
What's going on?
Hi, moms.
Hi.
Hi. So thank you so much for taking my question today. I'm the mother of Arthur. He's 9 years old. He's an only child. And he's a wonderful, there he is, my sweet boy.
Hi, buddy.
Yeah.
Nike fan.
He is a wonderful kid, super sweet and sensitive and very empathetic. I would actually say he has better EQ than many adults I know, through my life. But as a result of that, his sensitivity, he has had some problems with bullies. Sometimes he does feel a bit left out. I've made mistakes, as when he was younger, I would push him into things like wrestling, things that are a bit more aggressive because I feel like he needs to get, a bit more of this rough and tumble boy stuff. Growing up in Australia, I never met a sensitive man. Boys are expected to be tough and show no emotion. And so I love him. I love him for who he is. I love his sensitivity. He's a wonderful child. He loves his mum. But I do worry that I'm not preparing him for the world, which can be a tough place, particularly if you are sensitive. And so my question to you guys is, how do I nurture that wonderful, sensitive, beautiful soul, but make sure that he's prepared for the world, that he can be resilient and tough?
Right.
I mean, I think we have the same child. Yeah, I think we have the same child, and that's a question I ask myself every day is, how do I preserve this light bulb of a child that's walking around the world feeling everything and sweet, because actually the world needs that more than they need more tough.
100%, yeah.
And we live in a world that does not treat those boys kindly.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly wondering what to do there. I'm commiserating, I'm not helping. I'm with you. I also don't ever know what to do there.
It's our fallacy, it's our delusion that thinks we need boys to be tough and rough. The world will be what it will be. There is no control over that, So you are, and we women, when we see our sensitive boys, and I'm going to say this gently to all of us, somewhere we have internalized misogyny in our own way because we're like, ooh, too soft, too sensitive. I need to do something. I need to fix this. I need to manage it. In a very sneaky way, the patriarchy has told us, oh, this is not good. Like, you got to do something to this boy. This boy is not going to be equipped for the world.
Yeah.
And that's a lie. So in all my work, 30 years now of working with people, the most successful people are not those with the external right, indicators of fame and success and any money and wealth. The most successful people are those who are confident to be more of who they are. They're not trying to be something they're not. So if they're soft and sensitive, they're not trying to be more tough if it's not who they are. But they are more empowered to be more of who they are. So resilience is an expansion of who you are. It's not adding things you're not. Right? So if you tell me, for example, or like Alicia said, you know, about her boundaries, and if I tell her, you know, today, you know, you need to create more boundaries. She's like, I can't. It sounds good, but it's not going to work because that's not who she is. So we take who they are and we allow them to feel empowered and secure, knowing the limitations of who they are. Not trying to be who they're not. That's a persona, and they'll always feel lesser than because that's not who they authentically are. So instead go, yeah, you know what? I am sensitive and I don't know how to say no, and I am going to be bullied probably by other more tough kids, and I'm going to learn how to cope with that versus try to become who I'm not. We're all trying to become who we're not.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Let's talk about something every parent struggles to manage in 2026. Technology. Sakina understands this problem uniquely. Go ahead and stand up.
Hi. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Sakina.
I'm a mom of 5. But wait, there's more. 2 grandchildren.
Wow.
So my older kids, I raised them in the city. Trying to be a better mom. The little one, I'm raising her in the suburbs. The older ones ran outside. They couldn't wait for Saturday because they wouldn't even brush their teeth. They're just flying out the door, right? Oh, there they go. And then the little one, she doesn't know anything about anything other than my iPad, my Switch. My friends are doing this Roblox, which I refuse. I don't know how to stop her from technology or to keep her from it within good reason or have parameters for it. School, most of it is with, you know, a device, a Chromebook or whatever it is. How do I as a mom at this stage, when she wants to be creative, she wants to do all these things, have boundaries with technology where it's safe and it's healthy? The older ones, they knew kick the can and hide and go seek and roundup, and this kid has no idea what any of that is.
Yeah.
Because she wants to be on the iPad.
But either do her peers, right? Either do her peers. They don't know that either.
Either, no.
So I don't know. What do y'all think? What do you think?
I don't know anything.
What do you think?
I mean, honestly, what you just said is what I hear so many parents desperate in anguish. That's why I wrote these books. I call it the algorithmic abduction of childhood, the lost blueprint of girlhood and boyhood. Whatever they truly need is being robbed from them. And it's happening in front of our eyes. We know it, we feel it, we see it. But somehow we have outsourced our power to the platform.
Yes.
And we need to take it back. There is no consciousness there. The coding is not conscious. We have to be conscious. So, you know, when my daughter was 13, she's now 23. So 10 years ago, I was naive. We were blissfully unaware. But parents who have young children now, I say no screens till teens, no smart screens and no platforms. She has no business on there. They have no business to be on there because their brains cannot process it. So you are a good parent. You're not a mean parent. You're not an evil parent. You're not, you know, out to get her. You are actually doing something for her, but she can't see it yet. So I would say, you know, Jonathan Haidt talks about this. Get together with the mothers in your community. Show them, read these books, listen to his talks, and together decide that we are collectively going to stand up to this and not give in. And let's have play dates, and let's be out on the streets, and let's give our children the wildness of childhood that is now being tamed away from them for a reason, because the more you tame them, they become good soldiers in the army of capitalism. This is a big picture at play, exploiting your daughter. It's not just a cute little dance. It looks benign, but it's hooking her on this dopamine fix that she will soon be addicted to and not be able to live and function in real life. How many of us can even sit waiting for anything without picking up the phone? right?
Yes.
We have to handcuff ourselves.
That's the absolute
So
truth.
they keep us on the platform and they're training our children young in cute ways at first with the like and the emoji. And,
Yep.
But it's baiting her to create an identity that is enslaved to external validation. And that is
Yes.
a death for a girl especially.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sakina. We've covered a lot of important issues this hour. We could keep talking for, I think, 16 more hours. One thing I think we've established is amid the chaos, worry, and anxiety, we need something to bring us comfort. So we have a gift for you. Lola Blankets delivers unmatched quality with luxurious vegan faux fur blankets. They're softer than anything else on the market, and you'll get to feel just how cozy they are because you're all getting a $300 gift card to Lola Blankets. Thank you to this amazing panel. I know, I'm so excited too. Allison Williams' podcast, Landlines, which is all about navigating motherhood with two of her best friends, is available wherever you get your podcasts. You can see Renée Elise Goldsberry in Cupertino on CBS later this year, reunited with actor Mike Coulter. Meanwhile, get her album, Who I Really Am, and watch her beautiful documentary, Satisfied, on all streaming platforms. And for more guidance from Dr. Shefali on building confidence and inner strength for your kids, be sure to pre-order. I'm doing it in 5 minutes. Pre-order her 2 new books, Raising Conscious Daughters and Raising Conscious Sons. Dr. Shefali, I worship you. Thank you for all of your help.